Hello and welcome to Big Orbit's Cardfight Vanguard weekly update. My name is James and this week we have the final cards for V-BT01 as well as a couple of cards for V-EB01 and news of V-TD04 and V-BT02, which I forgot to mention in the last video. Starting off we have the King of Knights himself, Alfred. He is the last of the VRs to be shown and his first skill is Act Vanguard Circle once per turn, cost counterblast 1. Set your deck for up to 1 Blaster Blade and call its rearguard circle, and that unit gets plus 5,000 power until the end of the turn. Shuffle your deck. It's a shame that it can only be Blaster Blade, but it's still cost, and Vanguard is going to help make the most of the situation. He also has continuous Vanguard Circle during your turn. If you have a Blaster Blade on your rearguard circle, this unit gets plus 10,000 power. This unfortunately means if you run out of Blaster Blades, Alfred can't really do much, but the skill is very reliable early game, and unlike Imperial Daughter and Dragonic Overlord, you get Alfred's full potential as soon as you ride him. Hopefully the game doesn't last long enough for you to actually run out of Blaster Blades, but if it does, you always have Soul Saver Dragon as a backup. We get a nice blue background for Alfred's SVR, and as predicted, Perfect Riser gets the orange background, and that means we've seen all 4 of the SVRs for this set. Silent Tom is a RRR grade 2 for Oracle Think Tank. His first skill is Auto Vanguard Circle Rearguard Circle. When placed, cost counterblast 1 and this unit gets plus 6,000 power until the end of the turn. This complements his second skill of Continuous Vanguard Circle Rearguard Circle. During the battle it attacked Vanguard, your opponent cannot call normal units from hand to Guardian Circle. Thanks to Perfect Guards coming as both triggers units and normal units, you can luckily build your deck to fight against a huge Tom. But even so, he's going to cause a lot of trouble for his opponent with the power-ups that Oracle Think Tank have been getting in this set. You can bet he's the first unit that's going to get attacked on his opponent's turn. He will also be devastating in Premium with the existence of Stillwater Festival deity Ichikishima, who prevents your opponent from guarding with grade 0s and G-Guardians until the end of turn. Decisive Judgment Maiden, Chitose, is a grade 3 for Oracle Think Tank who doesn't have a gift marker and has the skill of Act Vanguard Circle Rearguard Circle once per turn, cost, discard a Sentinel from your hand and draw a card. And this unit gets plus 10,000 power until the end of the turn. Too many Perfect Guards in hand can start to make things a bit clunky, and as Oracle Think Tank has the Protect marker, they're going to have more Sentinels than the other clans. So this may not be such a bad cost, as you can draw one anyway. It's pretty situational, but it comes down to if you have a good enough position to give up on some defense. Ruote Magus is just a grade 1 Perfect Guard, so it's nice to see that the non-trial deck clans will be getting these in the set as well, and it's only a single ask, so easy to get a hold of. As well as that, we also get Whiteness Rabbit, who is another starting Vanguard. We already had Lozenge Magus as a starting Vanguard, but we may be seeing something similar to Nova Grappler, where these 2 Forerunners will support 2 different decks, especially as Magus is a subclan in Premium. The trigger units we have for Oracle Think Tank are Psychic Bird, who is a critical trigger, Oracle Guardian Nike, who is another crit, Miracle Kid, who is a draw, and Sphere Magus, who is a heal. Onto Kagura, we have the grade 2 Flame of Destruction Verbti. He has a similar skill to the Nahalim from the start deck, with Act Vanguard Circle Rearguard Circle, cost counterblast 2, choose one of your opponent's rearguards, retire it, and this unit gets plus 3,000 power until the end of the turn. The cost is heavy, but with it being an act, you can possibly activate it more times in one game. If Kaguro ever gets really consistent countercharging, I can see this card's popularity skyrocketing, as it's not even limited to once per turn. Instigate Griffin is a grade 1 with 7,000 power and Act Vanguard Circle Rearguard Circle once per turn, cost counterblast 1. One of your Flame Dragon units gets plus 5,000 power until the end of the turn. This appears to be a little bit of support for Cruel Dragon to help him hit and so he can bounce back to hand, though it can also be used for a turn that you ride over Prowling Dragon Striken to increase the pressure on your opponent, so long as you aren't riding Dragonic Waterfall, as it is a tier dragon. Otherwise, it's very nice to Dragonic Overlord, as Overlord is likely to attack twice per turn. Flight Rock is a grade 0 with Act Rearguard Circle cost, put this unit into your soul, choose one of your opponent's grade 0 rearguards and retire it. The usefulness of this card is questionable until we see some Forerunners again, but it is very cheap retire and also fuels the soul, though also not being a trigger limits its use in many decks. Nova Grappler also get their grade 1 Perfect Guard with Hate Reflector, which is unfortunately not a riser or a hero, and Novas also get the grade 0 with Cat Butler. Similar to his old skill, he has Auto Rearguard Circle at the end of the battle that your Vanguard's attack didn't hit, cost Soul Blast 1 and retire this unit, choose one of your other units, he gets plus 3,000 power until the end of the turn, and if it was a grade 2 or less Vanguard, stand it. With Riser Custom also standing with the card in front of it, it may be worthwhile having this for the early game, especially as an extra drive check will be amazing for Novas, with more cards in hand, and a better chance of getting those front triggers. And just like the old Cat Butler, this works a treat with Legion in Premium. For triggers, Nova Grappler have the biggest variety of combinations they can use for their decks. They get 2 front triggers with Cannonball and Turbo Riser, 2 crit triggers with Red Lightning and Shining Lady. They have 3 minutes as their draw, as well as having the Twin Blader, who is their draw perfect card, and Wall Boy is their heal trigger. The art for the imaginary rare version of Blaster Blade is looking very nice, with Aichi in Blaster Blade's armor and having a signature from Akira Ito. The origin rares are also available to see, with them being Blaster Blade, CEO Amaterasu, Dragonic Overlord, and Azura Kaiser. Getting to see their old art with the new skills and power is pretty nice, and the boardless text is a big plus. As I said before, V-EB01's reveals have started. We have the Grade 1 Funky Bazooka for Spike Brothers. His skill is Auto Rearguard Circle when your other rearguard is placed on Rearguard Circle in the same column as this unit. This unit gets plus 5,000 power until the end of turn. If Spikes keep their gameplay of consistently placing units throughout the turn, this could ramp up very quickly. And this only being a common is making the future of Spikes look promising. Hopefully we'll also see some restanding in Spikes to make the most of this card. We also have some Mega Colony support, though unfortunately it's a vanilla. Karma Queen is a 7k grade 1 with 15,000 shield. At least we know it's not only going to be machining in the set, it'll probably be similar to how Nova Grappler were treated with Risers. So we can hope to get a Hell Spider RRR grade 3, and at least this is looking good for Bloody Hercules and Phantom Black having skills, which I'm looking forward to. Time for some news on V-BT02. Now we know it focuses on Team AL4, basically Team Asteroid. We have Ren, who is bringing Shadow Paladins, Tetsu, who is bringing Dark Irregulars, Asuka, who brings Pale Moon, and Kyo, who, instead of having Spike Brothers like before, now has Murakumo. From the cover art we can see Phantom Blaster Dragon, No Life King Death Anchor, Golden Beast Tamer, and Dueling Dragon Zanbaku. There is also some news on the trial deck that comes out a month before. It is confirmed that we will receive Dark Dictator as the main grade 3 for the set, and just like Blaster Blade and Dragonic Overlord, there are 2 different artworks for the Blaster Dark. And that is everything for this week. Be sure to check out next week when I'll be going through the cards shown throughout the next 7 days, which should be a nice bunch of V-EB01 cards. And if you have any questions about the cards revealed, feel free to leave those in the comment section below. So I hope to see you next time. Bye!